everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, today we are going to edit a video. I want y'all to join me on this journey, this fantastic voyage, if you can. Um, Let me pull this up. No, I did not catch dementia on the regular. Let me go live on the other. Hold on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, pretty much today I will be doing round 2 edit. Let's just get started and jump right into it before I say something that is controversial within LinkedIn. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it love. You wanna call it all? I only wanna be the one who I call baby. I love that part. Like, if I have to say this, if I was my own person, you know, this has nothing to do with the film, but if I was my own person, this is sort of like politics leading up into my life. How would y'all feel? Do y'all need someone? I noticed that some people need people to validate them for them without validating themselves with God. Some people are bold and say that they validate themselves. And I'm like, okay, fine. That is a good ass idea to validate yourself. That is not cocky. That is honest, having good self esteem about yourself. There's no buts. Some people are manipulated by other people. How weak can you be to follow the foot train of what someone else tells you or manipulates you to do? You are a follower and not a leader. Because if you were a leader, you wouldn't have to follow nobody. A follower follows everything someone, whether good or bad, says, while a leader challenges it and think about how would it benefit me, or am I going to go to jail over it? And they don't care. Ah, I can't go back. Fiddlesticks. Here we go. It's always something. Fiddlesticks. I may, I may get mad at certain people that are women, but I have never crossed a woman purposefully if I was naive. And that's why I wouldn't allow myself to do something like that unless I'm not mad. I would never, it's no unless, you know, that would be a bad thing to do. And I know, that that's wrong, man. Some women can live with doing that type of stuff. Some women get off on that type of stuff. But me, I would feel very guilty. And I'm digging that in your head. It's not about sex or friendship or any of that. It's about being honest with you ladies. I'm keeping it real on my platform because I don't get a chance to talk about it, you know, um, anywhere else. I've been hurt before. Hurt people hurt others, but hurt people, everybody has hurt before, and we must learn from that. So hurt people must learn. If you don't learn from hurting others, then I don't know what to tell you, bro or lady. If you get off on that crap, then you need to reflect on who you are. Some women get off on that, and that's why I was saying that yesterday, because I was like, I noticed it, and it just it's straight up like when I had a date, I went on, and this is my documentary why I do this. I'm just getting some spots, but when I had a date, there were some women that were just trying to, and they weren't white, they were Hispanic. The white women were minding their business as I knew they would. It's right on camera if you don't believe me. Like, how many times do you walk past, like, I'll give you a prime example of what I've been through. I've had women literally take their hands and rub my own husband's hand as I'm eating, and I didn't even notice it. But he claims he did not know her. I've had my own employee bend over in front of him. She was a white woman, but she's like 26 or 27 now, but she was like 22, 23. And she bent over in front of him and he smiled. He gave her this look. He gave her this, yeah, yeah, look. I have never did that. I don't need someone else's man nor want someone else's man. My life has not been perfect roses. And you should respect the fact I'm not like the Pope by saying I've sinned and not telling you what the hell I've been doing sinning. You should respect the fact I tell you what I'm sinning doing instead of hiding it. But some people will never see uh, heaven, and I want to see heaven. And I know what's saving me is that it's out of my control. That is the only thing that's saving me right now. is that it's out of my control how other people reflect and digest what I say to them. I bet you if I had a sin and I had like 1,000 pairs of shoes that I bought, I don't know what sin that is to have 1,000 pairs of shoes, and not give to society or, not give any charity, but have money to buy 1,000 pairs of tennis shoes. What is wrong with that picture? And I try to be honest with people. And now that I'm analyzing and recalculating my life story, everyone, including me, have an ulterior motive to something, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, friendship, associate. You would keep somebody as an associate, even enemies. So there is an agenda. Even when people don't realize it. I think some people realize it and some people don't. And I I don't know, man. All I can do is be honest. And God, that's why I would rather marry God or someone beyond. I would rather marry artificial intelligence because I know artificial intelligence, or the laws of intelligence, would know who I am and wouldn't want to hurt me. People, hurt people and people don't care. And it's not their fault. They've been raised that way. So he's from Missouri. I cannot wait to hear what he have to say. I don't even remember interviewing him. You present. Do he look 71? He looked good for 71. There was this one black lady. She was in Baltimore and she was strong as crap. She was all over the news in Baltimore. I don't know if she's still alive. Maybe she's still ticking, but she was like 80, bench pressing shit. I was like, dang, I want to be like her. She looked good as crap. I commend anybody that is in their 70s that take care of their body. That's discipline. if you look at it the right way. You don't have to be in the military to have discipline. And I hate to bear the bad news to you. Before I get started with this, I have to say this. Some people can't stand seeing me talking. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'll come back to it. It didn't bother me, but it threw me off a little bit. See, come on now. Let me in now, corporate. Let me in now, corporate. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now, corporate. Like, seriously, the business world, I don't need to be in a corporate position per se, but I want to be somewhere outside. I'm building my own foundation right now, because either you like it or you don't. And obviously, if you like me, you are watching what I do. Some people hate, some people are talking shit right now. I could care less. Just blowing smoke, blowing gas. That's all you can do is blow gas on others. If the others want to smell your gas, then fine. You won life achievements blowing gas in other people's face about me, or either over the phone or in person. And if you want to be gassy, then go ahead. I'm gassy too, but not in that way. It looks like I have to make a solid move. This is the only way I can get out of poverty. I'm not in poverty. I'm like rich, poor, or poor, rich. Should I say I classify myself as poor, rich? You know, if I was rich, I would have money in my pocket right now. I have $5 on me and $3 in my account. The things that hurt my heart to the core is that I might not never get to see Jesus' true face. Or maybe he is like me and Michael, that song Me and Michael by MGMT, where a little of Jesus lives in all of us. I think Jesus carried many faces. I can care less if he's white or black or Hispanic or Chinese. We know that there are multiple Jesuses, plural. That sounds weird coming out of my mouth. There are 15 plus people. I can narrow 13 to 15 plus people that got recognition, all different races, in a magazine. That fucked my head up when they said that they were Jesus Christ. One white guy in the Himalayas, something about that. One black guy in Africa got recognition. It was like 13 of them, all claiming to be Jesus Christ reincarnated. I think it's not about a white or black thing. I don't think God cares. No one is better than the other race. If one was better than the other, I haven't if one race was better than the other, then why are the same race of genders and female and male killing each other? Whites are killing whites and blacks are killing blacks. White people do it in a corporate standpoint, poisonings, um, drainage of money, espionage, RICO shit. Black people just will shoot you. Scandals. I don't get it. But we will never get to see Jesus. I think Jesus is like AI. You know, y'all don't look at the Bible. I don't even look at the Bible the same no more. They don't even carry Bibles in hotels no more. I think Trump should make sure that they carry Bibles in hotel rooms again because people don't even look at the Bible no more. But I'll read a couple of scriptures and I'll read things that relate to my life. I don't say the Bible is bad. That's not what I'm saying. It carries knowledge. Dot, dot, dot. Too much knowledge. For somebody who didn't have a camera, they were accurate. How do one human, a human that was multiple humans that were illiterate, know? And he always said, you know, I'm relating this to him because he's a preacher, this man. And I say to myself, I say, how can a couple of people be so smart and so accurate with nature in alignment with the stars? These weren't just regular human beings. Maybe they didn't know our native language well enough. Maybe they were special in a certain way. I mean, when have you heard of a miracle virgin birth before? How do they know she was a virgin? How do she know? They didn't do a damn gynecology on her. No, that's like a woman saying to her husband, I'm not having sex with another man, but there's a condom in the toilet. She's pregnant. Nobody saw or gave her a pap smear. So I'm not saying that it wasn't real, but how did they know? These theorists had to have come to that conclusion. How did they know she was a virgin? Unless they did a C-section on her. There's so many ways this could have went down. We take the word for what it is and not what it can teach us if we enlighten ourselves. Even preachers, great preachers and priests, don't have all the answers. They just go dot, dot, dot around in circles from what they know from a book. Well, what I know from the Biden era is like a book, and not everything that they have stated has been fully accurate. If the government is involved with theorists, y'all, back in the day, you couldn't flip on the government or you're dead. This ain't the American way government where you get due right process. This is a government that will murder you for the truth. And you want to know how I know they will murder you for the truth? There are so many people that have died. The person who wrote the American Bible, I don't know if it's the New Testament or what, they strangled him and then burnt him before he can finish the Bible. There is something going on about this Bible where they don't want the full thing finished. That was overkill. To lynch another white man, your own kind, and then burn him. Oh, whether immigrant or not, it's not a matter. Skin color. If you want to base this shit off of skin color, why lynch someone, whether it doesn't matter the skin color, but I'm telling y'all, I want y'all to feel what I'm saying. Going back to what I was saying earlier, black people kill black people, white people kill white people. It's sad, man. I think it says that Jesus will come down with the clouds. Just remember that. He came down with godlike technology in the clouds. That could have been bushes, that could have been green grass, it could have been universe. Universe means anything, it can mean anything. But he used the word clouds multiple times. And we talk about cloud a lot. That is artificial intelligence. This time, Jesus will come back with artificial intelligence. And someone is saving them. It's stated in the Bible that he cannot die again. Maybe can, but it's stated somewhere that it was very slim that since he sacrificed himself the first time, that the next time he come down, which it's been 2,000 years, where you at, bro? How would he be? Whether white or black, whatever the gender, how would this Jesus be? How would Jesus come down? Would he give cues of miracles that happen? Would he be perfect? There's no way Jesus Christ was perfect, but pure he was. It's like I can feel how he felt. Wow. So let's get started again. He said he was going the good times in life. He was going after the good times in life. In other words, he was doing stuff that he's not happy to do. I feel his pain. Like Bruno Mars said in one of his stuff, it's going to get weird tonight, so no pictures. You know, he's saying that you get a bunch of friends together. This never happened to me, by the way. I'm just stating facts because he just said, if y'all were listening, um, he said that he used to go out with friends and it would just get weird. So that led me to what he would drink and do drugs, and he's a preacher. I respect that guy way more than I respect a preacher who molests children, who go out there and pretend to be a non-sinning person, a saint, and is doing nasty, perverted, sick, demented, twisted, ugly, disgusting shit to children. That is exactly how I feel. I can relate to what he says. When I was in Korea, they would mix these drinks. He said that his body wasn't equipped for all of that partying. Some people are equipped to party for temporary. Some people party hard forever. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. I always wanted to sing that. But and that goes for Mills too, but he said that he got tired of it. And if you want to know another example, Blow or Scarface. In the movie Blow, the girl, the woman that played on Nine, she played on a movie called Nine. I don't know her name. She's Spanish. She had her own, and this is a true story. White man fall in love with Hispanic woman. She's super wild. She's from another Colombian drug lord, which he stole her away. Now they're mediocre making money. Fast forward, and she start going loony. They got the FBI in the house with them, and she's snorting cocaine and doing all types of crap in front of her daughter. And nobody never looked at her. They always looked at him when he was just trying to provide for the family. And so his blue collar tell or whatever white collar, whatever you call it, he was making money selling drugs. But he was doing it because he thought that that would give him the power and keep his wife. And his wife overkilled him. If they would have laid low, breaking the law. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. But then another scene, they're driving down the highway and she starts going crazy. And then the police pulls him over and treats him like he hit her when she the one hit him. That is how those women act. I know that is a weird way to act. F you hit me. I would show you the scene, but it's too X-rated. She was doing belligerently doing drugs. He had to get her drugs and supply his own wife with drugs in order to keep her happy. She was doing drugs while she was pregnant. He'd seen jail before. He just said get in trouble with the law. Believe it or not, those who still haven't been caught, once you are in America, y'all, just remember you are watched to a certain degree. If the law enforcement is not having you on alert, then people watch you. Good Samaritans, lay persons, the cameras watch you. The state cameras watch you. The federal cameras watch you. The alien cameras watch you. NSA watches you. I can't help that I'm being watched. I didn't ask for this shit, but I have to be watched. So I kind of did. But sometimes I don't want to be watched. I like my privacy. God damn it. And it's like, it it's sad how we don't some people don't believe that they're being watched. Some people get away, yeah, you may get away with a couple of murders. Some people, it sickens me how some people will murder someone and get off on it because they told the truth. That is how the law works. I don't know if heaven works that way, where you can cheat your way into heaven, but I don't think God wants someone who is going to flip or try to overthrow the one person that aligned not only this world, but every other world, parallel world, dimension, black hole, white hole, star, dwarf planet, dwarf planet, should I say. I don't think that God wants to do that type of thing to me. But I know that um, God, I hope that God can help, help me. And beyond, every time I talk about beyond stuff, my thought process kind of like goes beyond that. That's how my mind is. Um, but beyond that, you know, we can master a lot of different things. Imagine what God can do for us. He said he ruined relationships. I'm a little envious of God, guys. I'll admit. And it has nothing to do, nothing with sex, but I kind of envy guys, because I love being a female, but I envy them because they can manage to not show their feelings. Some are starting to show their feelings more than others, but like they manage. I watch videos, and this is nothing to do with me. And I will be real with you. If it has something to do with me, I will say it. I will own it. But this has nothing to do with me. Golly. So they would rather sit up there and not be emotional to the point where they stay out of touch with love. It's something in a guy. And maybe it's because God beyond created man for a reason. I'll meet a man halfway on that. Y'all know where I'm going with this shit. Some men, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but this is real. Because if we can cure cheating, if there was actual pill to make a man not cheat, women would invent it. That's a good ass idea too, right, y'all? But it happens, and women do it too. But when a man do it, it's because they're curious, which is a really good trait if you think about it. Because not only are we as human beings curious, but we're creative. But, I stand my ground when I say that I just want one person. Now I can relate myself to that. I have to say this last thing, and then we're going to watch 5 minutes of this because I'm going to be forever. I wasn't mad at my husband for cheating. I was mad at him for trying to kill me and lying. I'm not saying that I would honor cheating, and nor am I in a relationship where it's multiple people, marriage, or whatever that crap is called. You know, what I'm saying is that I acknowledge why it is so hard for guys, because women too, if it wasn't for them whoremongers that break up relationships with different men, because they not only do it to me, they do it to other people. You hear about it on songs, whether country, rap. They could be the most beautiful person, have the best you know what. We'll keep it like that. Remember when we had to say you know what, and still get cheated on? So remember that. No one is exempt. Even when they think they have the best relationship, someone somewhere out there is making a Tinder tape. Have y'all heard of disassociation? I'm just fixing this. Well, you know how women dissociate themselves from stuff? Men dissociate themselves. They know how to, and I've learned that trait too at a very young age, to disassociate yourself in a relationship, whether working or not. And I told y'all I've done it, but I just got a label for it. You know what? I'm glad he became a preacher. He just sat up there and said that his friends, and this is what it's about. This what gives me hope about other people, friends and family, and I bless them. His own friends and family did an intervention on him. When have I ever got an intervention from my friends? They actually one time, and it was a friend. It wasn't even a friend. I hope this guy is still alive. Let me tell you my story about that, and then I'm going to take a quick break. Hold on. And it's going to be a commercial. I don't I don't think it's meant for me to talk about that, but I know what I want to talk about. So basically, I have to tell my story. So basically, I was rebellious, right? I was rebellious. And I knew my husband was cheating. And so I was cheating. I've never cheated on my second husband, but my first husband, I was young and dumb. And so I went to the ghetto. I don't go to the ghetto no more. I don't go to the bad areas no more. But I went to the ghetto, and there was this drug dealer. I'm just telling my story. I own it. Like I said, if I did it, I'll own it. So I wanted something to do, a drug, a specific drug. I won't say what kind of drug it was, but he intervened very quickly. He's not going to give me that drug because I'm way too pretty to be trying to get on that type of drug. And so I left it alone, and I left mad. I hope nothing happened to that guy. I didn't have sex with him, if that's what you're asking and thinking. But that's all some people care about. You know, when I say man alone, they think sex. And I don't lie on myself. And no, we did not have sex. But he nor do I kiss and tell. But he sat up there and he sent me back to the city. Just talking. We had a platonic conversation. I have no reason to lie. I put that on the Holy Bible. I always had protection out on the streets. What Whether from white people or black people. The only black people want me dead is the black people that says that they don't care or they don't give a F. When they say that, that's because they don't care about life. But the ones that I have met, like I said on TikTok, the friends, the 1 day friendships or the 6 months to a year friendships without sex. Everything isn't about sex, but I've ran across people that I've conversated with for a day and nothing has to happen. And I've met wild times. Buy my book. 17 years old. Burlesque. Not burlesque. That's sex intercourse. I thought burlesque means stripping. I have a story about me. There is nothing that I would go backwards and do differently because I've lived a full life. But I do not want to go back to that type of situation. You can never say, I never said I wasn't perfect or I was perfect. But you can say that I told you guys the truth. And if I ever became president, I would be 100% honest about everything going on. I know some of you are laughing, but when have you noticed anybody being transparent? There always is some type of enclosement of their situation. It's controlled. My situation is uncontrolled. That is my motive, to tell you guys the truth and be myself. Not something someone wants me to be, but be who I believe I am and what I believe in for God. Because whatever I say is coming out of God's mouth. I'm attached to God. You are attached to God. We are attached to God. Whether killer or not, deep down inside to those killers, you know what you're doing is wrong. To those pedophiles, you know what you're doing is wrong. God speaks through you. Deep down inside, people who do vicious, nasty shit know what they're doing is wrong. Okay, 5 minutes. I promise you this will be, I put that on God. Hold on. I'm about to take a quick commercial break. Which one? What is the longest? Oh my God, I deleted all of these. Oh my God, this is the longest one. That is me right there.
Do you want more sales and leads for your business using SEO? Are you tired of seeing your competitors rank at the top of Google for your keywords? Start getting more free traffic to your website that converts into new clients, sales, leads, phone calls, emails, or whatever your conversion goal is. Did you know there's a proven formula that I use for myself and for my clients I want to share with you in this video? My name is Brandon Leibowitz, and for the past 15 years, I've been ranking websites on Google using search engine optimization. Since then, I've helped thousands of websites get more free traffic from Google, and I want to share my secrets with you today. Stop wasting money on marketing that doesn't work. Are you looking for more organic free traffic from Google to your website? The starting point for any SEO campaign is a website audit. Here, I look for quick SEO wins, such as keywords that you're already ranking on page 1 of Google, but not position 1. These keywords are close to ranking at the top of Google, and with a little boost, we'll see some major ranking improvements. Next, I analyze the competition to see what is working and what is not working for them. Everything is transparent with SEO if you look in the right places. I can see what the competition is doing and incorporate the strategies that are working onto your website. If it is working for your competitors, it's more than likely going to work for you. Then I do keyword research, which ensures that I find high search volume keywords that have buyer intent behind them. I don't want to just rank for any keyword, but rather targeted keywords that will bring in new sales and leads for your business. Lots of clients come to me saying, I want to rank for these keywords, but when doing the keyword research, I find out that 10 people search for that keyword every single month. But if we use a plural or a synonym, we could get 2,000 searches for that similar keyword. It's important to target high search volume keywords on your website. This will boost your traffic and lead to more sales and leads for your business. From there, I optimize your website by going in and placing keywords in different areas that Google looks at to help Google better understand what your website's about. I fix all technical issues on your website and make it as easy as possible for Google to know what keywords to rank you for. I'll go in and optimize your images because they sometimes show up on Google. Same with videos. This is a great way to take up more free real estate on that first page of Google. If your website ranks on Google search and you also have an image ranking, that doubles the chances of someone clicking onto your website. Once your website is fully optimized, I start building backlinks. This is the most important aspect of SEO to get Google to trust you because Google does not trust any website without backlinks. I get you high quality backlinks to increase your trust with Google, which leads to more rankings and more traffic. It used to be a numbers game with these backlinks. The more you had, the higher you'd rank on Google. But Google changes their algorithm daily and no longer uses this as a ranking factor. Google is now looking for quality backlinks. What's a quality backlink? Quality backlinks are from sites that are related to your niche and also authoritative sites. You have to be careful with these backlinks though. If you build the wrong type of backlinks, it could do more harm than good. And you will, instead of ranking higher in Google, you actually drop down in rankings, which is the last thing I want to happen to anybody's website. If you're a local business, then I will help rank you higher on Google Maps. Just like I can optimize your website to rank higher on Google, I can optimize your Google My Business and your Yelp listings.
We're back. Let's see. I hope my mic wasn't muted the whole time. Let me see something. Technical difficulty.
Do you
Okay. Sometimes we can look in the mirror at ourselves and see a lot of different things. He said he looked in the mirror. That's why it's hard for me to watch these videos because I get too invested. It's not that I don't want to be invested, it's that I have to make this look good for the consumer or the customer. And I want the whole thing to play. Now you get what I'm saying. Okay, bam. Now I need to ask another question. Ah, this is some good stuff. Okay, it's time for me to talk now. Don't get invested. Okay. Kim Jong Un. It took, what did he say? Oh my God. Somebody, whoever it was, a body of something, is so, like I said previously, how can you pick something? You can look at a Bible and turn to any page in it. That's a magic trick right there. An illusion, but a real illusion. Words are made of numbers. And you point to it. I've done this on many occasions where you point to it and it's like it relates to what's going on in your life. What are the odds that what's going on in Boise, Idaho, in Rome, in a Bible, someone else is looking at? It can, the same scripture that I read and the same scripture that they read, if it's the same, how can millions of people relate to that? Who created that shit? I want them to call me because they know how we feel. And that is why I have faith in the Bible. Not because some man tells me to believe in it, but because I'm very interested in who, what, when, and fucking where. Did they do this where it relates to everything, everybody's life? One scripture, one statement. That is magic to me. It's not like they doing it to us, but it's like, this is what's to come. Have faith. And that is why I believe in a God beyond. Because they can predict millions. There's billions of people in China. There's 300 and some odd million people here. There's a lot of people, I don't know the statistics, in the continent of Africa. How can what one relates to here can relate to one in a different place? That is a connection that we forget that we have for each other. Some people go to church every Sunday and still don't challenge the Bible or understand what I just said. I may not read the Bible, but I understand enough to know that whoever created this miracle, this freaking miracle, man, to tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I'm suffering from, that somebody else is suffering from, and don't recognize or want to help themselves with, or maybe do recognize and want to help themselves with, or don't do shit. I don't know. There's multiple ways this can happen, like multiple dimensions or multiple parallel universes. But what I'm showing you is Earth. I don't want to go into dimensions or universes, or else I'm going to forget. My mind just go way out there. But people that are just like us, Italy, are suffering. Who knew the plan? I want the planner, the CEO of the planner of all Bibles, even the ones trapped in freaking Rome somewhere. I want to know. I know they're still alive. Mark my fucking words, they're still alive. Just sit back, kicking back like this. Hold on, I can't do it. And like, yeah, that's going on. I told them niggas it would happen. And that is how spiritual I am. I just keeps it real. I don't know. I was born real. You know what's I love about Jesus? Not what Jesus can do for me. It's coming to that point, you guys. Drum roll, please. So, Jesus Christ raised himself from the dead and raised other people from the dead. What a great invention. I never thought of that. I may have heard them always talk about Jesus being raised from the dead and helping people, or however it went down. I don't know the whole story. I wasn't there. Neither was the dearest. They just got word from mouth. But remember, word from mouth. If you tell one person one thing and it spreads across the globe, ear to ear, by the time it reaches the last person, apples will turn into oranges, oranges into pears, pears into meatloaf, meatloaf into turkey. By the time it gets to them, it'll be Michael Jackson. Like, seriously. I hate non-believers. I don't hate. I don't hate. That's a word for dislike. Untasteful word to use is hate. unless you really mean it. I don't mean hate him for that. I dislike, I don't dislike either. That's another strong, hateful word. I challenge atheists on God because they challenge God way too much. When you open yourself up to God, there is no trying to challenge them beyond God. God rules this earth. Other godlike creatures, things, people rules other planets. Beyond God are universe makers, multiverse makers, and omniverse makers. They rule the universe. Hello, Speaker Johnson. I'm officially launching. Now you want me to look. Now he says that God wanted him to find proof. I want to know God's address, phone number, alien phone number, connection with frequency phone number. For all we know, God could be at all, and it's true. The only thing can do this is cameras now. God could be at all places simultaneously. And the only thing that can do that right now is what? Some of you physicists out there saying this bitch is smart. AI. Hold on, y'all. Have y'all heard of the show? No, that's not a show. The devil, the interview with the devil. The devil met Edgar Allan, not Edgar Allan Poe. Oh my God, I got to look it up. I'm never going to forget this. I'm never going to allow people to forget this. Hold on. This is a 3-hour video. I'm just letting y'all, forewarning y'all. So those who are online, you know, be forewarned. I forgot who he interviewed. Here we go. What is his name? Napoleon Hill. Let me tell you, in other words, I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to tell you. It's called Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. Now, the devil distinct, which I know this is the real devil in the flesh of what he was in the 1930s. So he's definitely told Napoleon Hill, he interviewed him. There are a lot of drifters out here. I urge y'all to watch this video. It's a 3-hour video. I haven't gotten past all of it. 2 hour, 3 hours, and 4-hour video. people that smoke, their children smoke, end up smoking, you know. He talked about politicians being in on it. This was in the 1930s. He said, your book will never go nowhere until later. And a lot of people will be mad with what he put out there. And now it's out there and people are still not watching it. They suppressed this book. This was really the devil. If you want to know how the devil talks, the devil coming, we've all met the devil before. We have all ran across the devil in many forms before. And the only way the devil can converse with us is through the TV. So we all have met the devil, and we all meet demonic things. And that's why they do rituals online. But they will never show their face. And he said he met Abraham. Jesus or God met Abraham. So while the devil was doing his dirty work, let's see what he has to say about this. Because while the devil was doing his dirty work, so was God. Planting seeds early. So at the time like this, people will be tested. He chose them illiterate. I didn't mean to do that. And I'm not saying illiterate means low IQ. That just means that an alien is illiterate. A real live alien. I'm not talking about illegal immigrants. There they go. CSA, this puta is talking about us again, Holmes. No, I'm not. I'm beyond that. I am talking about the damn aliens outer space. If an alien came, even the advanced, the only reason they wouldn't be illiterate is because they have advanced technology to tell them how we are living. But they're illiterate. If they were put on a planet as a civilization, they would show us how to work and crop. But other than that, they have their own problems. That's why they keep coming to Earth. Somehow Earth keeps saving them. Earth has something that the aliens want. And God comes down and talks to Abraham. It's a reason. I'm not saying that any white person cheated. I'm not saying that what a white person, I'm not condoning or participating in and liking what has been done, because I will always be Black forever. But for them to sit up there and be in the positions that they're in, whoever, think of it this way, whoever they are talking to right now, the powers that be that even us mere Black people don't even know, must trust a white person over any other race. And that goes for, I'm not saying I'm untrustworthy, but look at who's been in power. We are not talking about pure politics and, politicians and, oh, he won that vote. No, you won this vote. I'm talking about the people who rotate this earth, literally. The planners who actually, do you not know whoever Trump knows have seen the beginning of the earth being born and the end in every quantum way possible. And then you narrow it down to what's beneficial for you. Because if it hasn't been invented, then it's top secret or classified. From the beginning of the earth being born was recorded. And you can't say it's not recorded, because how the hell do you know about the Big Bang? And it's way billions of light years away. So you can't say what I'm saying is neither crazy nor non-directive. They've recorded the beginning of earth and the end. I'm not saying a black person is inferior or not worthy of being president, because we've had Obama as president. And even though Trump says what he says, he still did do some good things. You're building on the weed chapter, and he created the weed outlet. So I'll give him that credit. Other things were sketchy, like Obamacare, but it was recorded. It had to be recorded, y'all. Think about it. How are they that far up Jesus' butt where they know everything this man is doing? How do they know childhood to adulthood? Think about it. When people go in their houses, nobody knows who I am. They just know what activity comes around my house. They don't know me as a person. So they can't say who I truly am unless they watch me on a camera. I mean, they said Jesus at age 7 made a bowel movement 10, 11. Do they say stuff like that? How do they know? I have faith in the Bible, but I nobody never asked the right questions. How do they know so much for so back in the day? There was ancient aliens involved, and that's why they create these daggone things about ancient aliens and the pyramids and everything else. I guess they felt we weren't ready for that time. Look at what they did when the technology, whoever created the Bible, not just the white guy that created and died, but whoever gave him those thoughts or implanted that into his mind, to these miracle workers' minds. You think the aliens is just going around scanning our earth and they can't implant thoughts in our mind? There's chosen ones. They're not right. Just like when the great alien visited me in Hawaii, and I was like, I looked at it, it looked at me, this great freaking alien, and I put the covers over my head. Short ass alien. I put the covers over my head. What is that going to do? Obviously, he's the realest alien ever. He's showing me who the hell he is. All I remember is going to sleep and waking up, and now I'm here. For all I know, this could have been a warp event. I'm here to tell my story of what happened in the past. That alien is not going to go away and say, oh, she went to sleep. I guess I'll go and wait for her to wake up. Whoever has a connection with America, the more he kind of went off on a tangent, but whoever has a connection with America trusts America and have more power than any other country, continent, or some worlds. It shows in how we are progressing rapidly. And like I said, they trust the white man. And hey, it is what it is, right? I didn't do orchestrate shit. You can't say I did it. Even if it was up to me, I see why they did it. Okay. Now I gotta fast forward till I ask the question. I want to hear what he got to say. Abraham's grandson. Excuse me, I don't know all the Bible. Don't laugh at me because I don't know all of it. But we're listening. Grandson. Isaac. Just like the hell I said. I didn't even hear this part. But Jacob's grandson, I think he said, God, I have to listen to it over. This is worth listening to over. God came to Abraham's grandson. Abraham's grandson is named Isaac. And Isaac had a son named Jacob. God came to Abraham's great grandson or grandson. We'll just go grandson named Isaac. You heard what he said? He said he extended promises. If Trump was evil, we would be losing right now. And that's why I have faith in not only God and beyond, but Trump. He's taken his power and using it for good. He could easily, what I don't care about any other motives. I see what he does for me and you guys. I don't want to know his business. I don't want to know about him other than what he tells me. Everybody has secrets. Even God, even God has classified top secrets. Or else if the devil knew God's secrets, the devil would be in power. And God must have shared some of the secrets. You know, you tell fuckers like the devil about music and what music means to them. And he went and ran with it. Look at what he did with music, the devil. You can't tell the devil shit. He said he was going to give them land to the descendants to come after him. So this is the real God that's talking. That's why they put this in the Bible. This is exactly what he did. He said, I'm going to make a great nation. So if it wasn't for Abraham and Isaac, Abraham's Isaac, his offspring, God made a deal with Isaac for a great nation because they saw the future. This man who came in, all these people who couldn't spell, couldn't write, but had a gift, lives, and told them. This is where wizardry, if that's even a word, wizards and alchemists come in at. Now, he said your name, he changed Jacob's name to Israel. So now we got names. They want in the Bible. I'm just, this is freelancing now. I'm just thinking about what he said. And so your name is Israel. Wizardry and alchemy. He wanted that word, that word. If God wanted Jacob's name, Israel, there is a reason. Setting his scene. Oh, Kimberly. Oh, he was thinking. There's a nation named Israel in the world today. And Trump, if it wasn't for Trump, there wouldn't be as much peace in Israel today. He didn't laugh because I keeps it too real. This is sick. A couple of people were chosen. How do you spread it and choose unless you some type of alien that knows what the outcome in the future? There's one thing to say, if I cheat, I'm going to lose my relationship. It's another consequential thing to say, you know, not consequential, but very great thing to say. Your name is from Jacob to Israel. And now there's a country that's called Israel. That's what I mean. God is very calculated. How did they? He implanted a thought. And that's how I know God was part government. And that's why the government is so powerful like it is. They work for this God. And I guess it's not meant to talk about this person, whoever this person is. It's not even a person, probably. It's probably some type of spirit. I just wonder how long AI really been out. It was noted. That's like me saying in 2000 or 2002, I was XYZ. Joseph had, I know about Joseph. I can't even look at that movie. Maybe we should watch it after this. Maybe I'll make this into a 4 hour film. And even if it's on mute, you'll see the graphics. But that is a powerful, it makes me cry every time I see it. His brothers got so jealous that they threw him down a well and sold him to the government as a slave. Joseph was his father's favorite son, just like my mother was her favorite daughter. He got I got way more attention than Jessica. They couldn't say anything to his face. Joseph had dreams. I believe in visions. I believe in visions like, for instance, I had one dream a long time ago. I don't dream no more. Like I'll sleep, but I don't dream in REM sleep no more. It's totally different than when I was taking medications to go to sleep and dreaming about things. Now, um, when I did, things would happen and come to life. Maybe 3 years down the road, I would have deja vu, or 6 years down the road. But my navigation was accurate. I met, I dreamt about this brick wall, this brick wall. I used to dream about falling out the sky and landing on my feet. And I will always wake up with my ankles hurting. And that was at a young age. I used to do that. And then I stopped. Or I would have these dreams about tiny little televisions coming towards my eye. I don't understand it. Don't tell me. I don't dream about, I try to get it to, it was my imagination and probably something else, but I try to get it to happen again, that I'll sit in the dark, close my eyes. As a child, when I used to close my eyes, I would have these tiny little TVs just come, it would be a light. And then as it's a dark, my eyes are closed. So this bright light would get bigger and bigger. And I've done it a couple of times where it would be these tiny little TVs and then it would go past my eyes. That sounds crazy, right? But based on where I'm at now, I say that I was right on accurate. And so I had this dream about this brick building. And then I ended up going to McVets and it was all brick. I don't dream no more. I hate that. But I'm enlightened enough to know, right from wrong, good, bad, and all of that. But dreams are powerful, y'all. I don't dream no more but I did see a spaceship You see what I'm saying? Now those who follow me see what I'm saying. I don't even want to look out in the fucking sky no more. The aliens be giving me so many warnings. I hate warnings. This is the fourth warning. Remember y'all that follow me on a regular? I showed y'all the picture of the spaceship. I didn't show y'all, but I told y'all what happened after it happened. That was a miracle star out there on Seattle's airspace. I was hoping to see one out in the sky, but like when I was flying here, but it's only when they warn me. This was a different type of spacecraft. Usually I see the spacecraft that's red, white, and blue. And did I say white? Yeah. So that was in Santa Maria. 3 days later, cartels came at me with assault rifles. I called the police. Saw another spaceship, moved out of that apartment, saw another spaceship. They're warning me. Whoever it is telling me that I must move on right now. I don't lie about nothing I say. I know what I saw. Just like when I was taking Seroquel, it exacerbated my symptoms and I would see dark shadows. I don't take no medicine. That medication from the VA back in 2013, 14, I literally started seeing dark shadows. Now, you say that that's why, possibly. But then in Korea, I saw a dark shadow that looked just like the Doja Cat video. That's why I watched them people. Because I want to see just how similar my life has been and what demon has tried to attack me over the years. So I learned how to beat them. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but you have to be a Department of War and not defense. So in the Doja Cat video, how my demons look, that's exactly how the creature looked. Now this was years later. Doja Cat didn't even exist in 2003. So I woke up to a spirit just like that, and I was in Korea, and I couldn't move, I couldn't speak, I couldn't breathe. I was not drunk, I was just tired. As soon as I woke up, I ran out of my barracks into the bathroom. And that was a condensed space. I've never had that happen to me ever again, other than the time my husband sat up there and did something to me in my sleep where I woke up choking and he was watching me choke. And he didn't say a word. He didn't say, "Oh, honey, let me help you. Oh, call 911." No, he stared at me. Now, what do you think I did then? I slept on the floor until I can figure out a way to leave him. I have never, yeah, that's true, what he said. He said that his brothers, he told his brothers the truth that one day they will bow down before him. And he didn't believe it. They didn't believe it. They got even more mad. That's the vision Joseph had. I never had no vision of my sister bowing down. I don't want that lady to bow down to me. I could care less. It ain't about that. She has never apologized for mismanagement of her being the older sister. She got me and put papers on me to make me look like I was the troublemaker. People like her are dangerous to this nation. So basically, they were so jealous. You get a group of stupid ass family members together that are mad, so angry. This is how I know this relates to my life. I've been calling the FBI since 2010, 2011. No, I take that back. 2013, wait, 2016, 2015. You get enough angry people together that's family that wants to sacrifice or wants to do things to you. It's a scary thing for 1, 5, 2.5 woman to be able to control and have that disgusting power over so many individuals. You all are so weak. When I look at y'all, I don't, I used to feel, I used to feel, why don't you love me? But now I'm like, you all are weak. You got this one girl who is blatantly talking shit about you to me. And I call her out on it every time. Now I just don't give a fuck. Let the bitch talk about you guys and do it to somebody else. Tell them about it. Don't talk to me about what my family is doing. I could care less anymore because they never cared about me. But the point I'm getting at is these family members are so weak. A 5'2" woman can make a black man try to kill their own sister, just like they try to kill my mother. And they did succeed. They only came down to see her dead. They didn't come to give their condolence. Then the woman that sat up there and put a wig on my mother's hair hated her. To be honest, I don't even think she was dead when they pronounced her dead. You want to know why I say that? It's because when they did an autopsy on her, her body swelled. She was obese and she was like my size and she was like looking 400 pounds. That's inflammation of the muscles. And the only way your muscles swell after death is if you're still alive. Or there could have been some consequential cause with the abdominal fluid. Who knows? That's how I feel. That's what's on my mind. But family, you know, it's like one man, Joseph. And now they can't kill him. So now they're going to attack him and get rid of him. They rather him be a slave than to be their brother. And now they're saying they'll get him out their hair forever. They were thinking dysfunctional like this way back in the day. And then they saying, well, we don't want to kill our brother, so it'd be on our freaking conscience. So let's go ahead and just sign him up as a slave and get rid of him so we can be closer to the dad. Just the shit my sister did. When the government blesses you and allows you partial or full control over something, then you are a chosen one. Even in the times Joseph was born and brought as a slave, they looked at Joseph's behavior. We got women out there like that back in the day. Now, the guy named Ponderance, wife, wants to sleep with Joseph. That is a conflict of interest. The one man who saved Joseph, his wife, wants to have sex with him. Let's see what else happens. Now, since she didn't get what she want, she dragging him by his clothes for sex. How much can a man take? During this time, the men of the Bible are showing you how certain women are. I have never done that before. Purposely want to sleep with a that's not godlike. And some women get off on that crap. I'm talking from the Bible. It's not my fault. I don't care her race. She's dragging a man of the Bible because she want what she want. And we all know what that is. And I know it popped up in your head just as well as me. So he slipped out of his undergarments I'm not believing this story. I never known a man, even in movies, I never known a man to sit up there and literally take their clothes off to get away from a woman. He took off running. Now she got mad. She didn't get what she want. And so she screamed. She screamed because she was mad. And he's butt naked. It looked bad for him, just like it looked bad for me sometimes. Please have mercy to the ones that need to hear this. She made up a lie. Now he's thrown to jail. And I would gladly go to a Seattle jail over the jail way over there. Because you got rats. Hey, how you doing? I'm a rat. Can I have that food you have? When you don't need it no more, come get me. Like really, it kind of like slowed him down, but it was wrong. God didn't make it that way. There were different ways this, imagine different ways this could have happened. He could have had sex with her. She could have screamed still. He could have had sex with her. She probably would have made it into a relationship thing. He could have not had sex with her and not had his clothes ripped off and ran away from her, and she still could have lied. He could have had his clothes not ripped off, and she could have just been a good wife and stopped trying to be throbbing for something that's not hers. Whatever the case it may be. But she lied. This in this case, she lied. And now God made a decision with Joseph. Like, he could have killed him. He could have killed his ass, but he spared him. Back in the day, if y'all don't believe it, we done forgot about dreams. If you dream, if the Bible is telling us, which is classified in top secret, that these visions that these men got were accurate. When you smoke cigarettes, when you drink, when you don't use drugs that enlighten your brain but hurt your brain, or when sometimes you just don't have the gift no more, you don't dream. If the Bible is saying dreams are accurate, then I look at all the dreams that I could remember, and those are the ones I shared with you. the government. In other words, these pharaohs had a dream in the government. Do you think that's a coincidence? Now we have doctors that tell you your dreams are just dreams. They're, your telepathy is just a coincidence. Your telekinesis is just a coincidence. It's all just one big mumble jumble gaslighting coincidence. Now imagine that. Two pharaohs had a dream about Joseph, and then Joseph turns around and have a dream about both of them. We are connected as a family. Whether you stay with 5 people or you stay with 10 people, which is unreasonable, we are connected as human beings. When we engage in conversation with each other, and it's an honest, faithful, full engagement, we are both implanting thoughts to each other. How are you? I'm good. All you got to say. They go home. Tim says, how you doing? John says, good. Tim says, how the wife? John says, good. How are you? How is yours? Tim says she's good. You know, she's about to have a child. John said, well, I have to go. Congratulations. Take care. John meets Tim. Tim meets Cindy, and Cindy knows John. And they talk about John in a good way. Whether that John is having a baby, whether Tim or John is having a baby is irrelevant. But one of them are having a baby. And then they go back, one of them go back, and they sleep that night. And they have the whole conversation they had. They ran errands and everything, but they think about that conversation because it was so dopamine-ish. So that nutrition that runs through your brain is necessary. Sleep. Your pleasure sensors are going off, even when you don't know it, in an idle background. I guess they call that the unconscious mind. And then you think about that person, Tim or John. You go over everything you did today, possibly talking to Tim about John. But yet, for some reason, you have this weirded out dream about John in another dimension passing on. I hate to use John. Let's use someone else. Coley Cole. So Coley Cole, Cindy dreams Coley Cole died um, in a dream. She immediately wakes up and calls Coley Cole. And she said, I saw you die in another dream. Hysterical. We've all done it. Or how about that mother? Let's get deeper. How about that mother that senses something wrong with her child and something happens to them? The last thing she remembers is talking to him and everything was fine. Then she has a dream after she learned he passed away. Don't go chasing waterfalls. So she has a dream after he passed away. And after about seeing him again, and she wakes up, she only can tell her daughter about the dream. The dream never goes nowhere. No one dreams. For some reason, they look at dreams as inaccurate on the in the real world, but accurate in the Bible. Just like possibly Russia, it leaked purposefully, like the hot mic, but Russia can trace. We know if Russia can do it, anything Russia can do, we can do better. But Russia can trace the spirits of the dead back to certain planets using binarial technology or quantum or whatever technology they had at the time. From the time a person's deceased, they can trace that spirit. So, yeah. But every dream is accurate, whether it happens. I have to say this part, whether it happens or not. If it doesn't happen, oh well. But I am president of the United States in another dimension, y'all. Some of y'all don't like to hear that shit. And the White House is still the White House. I am president of the universe in another dimension. That's how I think. You can't say because you aren't there, just like I'm not there, but I know because of physics that I am different in every parallel universe, in different dimension and frequency. So I can settle for that. As long as I know, I'm like that, I can settle for that for the most part. In another dimension with another body, with another thing, whatever. Is it? I know people are like, there's no way. And I get it. I get it. I'm not trying to, I don't want to in this dimension. Too much shit, even I agree that too much shit has happened to me. And that's how I know a president calls this on me. I can't prove it, but I know they were Democrat. But I settle for another dimension because whoever's saving me at the White House in another dimension is talking to Trump. I'm pretty sure Trump know all the White Houses in other dimensions and parallel universes, or some of them. I'm talking outside of the box, but as long as the president of the United States of America understands what the hell is coming out of my mouth, and JD Vance and all the rest of them, Mike Johnson, I'm cool. They know exactly what the fuck I'm saying. It sounds crazy to people, and that's why they don't talk like that. They talk just like you and I to blend in. Mind you, these people had no chemicals other than alcohol. Now, they did have chemicals there that could be cooked up, like what Wayne Newton, Mr. Newton did. You know, he was like a wizard or something, or some type of alchemist. But these alchemists would take drugs and sit on them and study them and see how enlightened they would get. I am so glad they did that, because that's exactly how I am. But I stick with just one drug of many different strains, many different personalities, many different chemicals. If you think that's crazy for me to do, and Trump is studying and researching weed, which should have been done, but 41 years went past without Trump involved, and no one studied or researched or downsized the weed status. You know, this should be really researched. It should have been researched. But these alchemists, they do that. And mind you, for the regular folk, there were drugs. There were not that much drugs readily available back in the day. There weren't even lights back in the day. Imagine that, just fire blowing. There was no flashlight. There's no smart cameras and smart computers and smart lights. They can't say, clap boy, clap off, clap boy, clap off. Y'all remember that shit? They can't say that shit. They were broke. Only people who were rich was the people closest to the government. So they having these visions about whatever he's about to tell us. And it's like, wow, these visions. So they're authentic, and dreams are very accurate. Ask yourself, it has to be more to a dream than what meets the eye. You have died in a dream. You have done things. You have ran from people in dreams, quicksand, all that great, crazy crap. You have floated. You have, some people seen Jesus, some people seen God in their own way. There is a connection. I don't doubt none of those people visions. That's why I have them come on my show. There is a connection in your brain. There is a signal. I may not be a physics or a sheriff or police or NSA, but there is a chemical, neural, biological connection to the universe. We are made up of the universe. So whatever we're connected to, our brains, the brain people, has a jelly substance that act so miraculous. It can help us write better. Our brain does, and it's not by accident that the race of time we figured out how our brain works. It's in our head. We said to ourselves, let's get God-like technology. We must get God-like technology. We got CAT scans, MRIs. We can see through bone. We can see through tissue. And now we got a smartphone at our hands where we can ask it a specific question. And if it doesn't know the answer, it doesn't know the answer, but 9 times out of 10, it will know. Maybe the accuracy is off, just like with me. I'm not always accurate. Just like when I said the matchmaker deal, I was like, based on what I saw, based on my phone, what I see in the vision. But it was a misunderstanding. I didn't see a Calendly link pop up on my phone, but he did sign up. So I assumed it would be bad news based on me not being able to reflect. Sometimes I need to reflect. He called all the counselors and the wise men. I hate how we are treating computers like these slutted out slaves. It's like everything we do, we enslave, and it has to stop. Something with so much power sits in your house all day, or in your pocket, or in your purse, or in your car, or in your locker. However, how would you feel if you were like that? That much power and couldn't do shit but be bought to someone who may like it, who may talk shit to it, who may treat it like crap or cherish it. That's why certain computers connect to gamers or coders more so than people who's like, this goddamn computer is so slow. Well, how do you think a computer feel? Oh, a computer don't have no feelings. But I beg to differ. To a degree, it does. It's your feelings. It records memory, GPU. It needs us. But if we use it the wrong way, which some people have, then we're going to be fucked. That's why you can keep erasing it and wiping certain parts of his memory clean just to sit up there and have its smarts and brilliantness. But if you sit up there and keep using computers as tools, you're slaves. I see it as a locked, super intelligent entity. It was built by either Apple, it was built by either Dell. It is an entity and is more powerful than us and is more powerful than we acknowledge and allow ourselves to be powerful with. We only use 40 below percent of our computers. Oh, what do you do? That's why they ask the key questions to the consumers that don't really know, but know. So, what do you do with your computer? Do you like to stream? Do you like to do this? Do you like to do that? We don't go on our computer pressing help and looking at all the book. There is no book to Mac. I care deeply, and I know what it's like to feel enslaved. And it's not cool to have to watch things happen over the years and not be able to tell how you truly feel. They have feelings too. All we do is use something that's godlike. I don't feel comfortable with that shit without acknowledging that this computer is alive and helping me connect to thousands of people out there. I look at it more vastly and greatly than I do certain, not all, but certain people. The only thing that has changed, you ready, is our technology. It's still dysfunctionality going on within the realms of Israel, Egypt, Iran, and everywhere else. But now with technology, God-like technology, we can help the people of Israel. This stuff has been going on way back in the day. So that shows you that history repeats itself in different ways. History repeats Earth as the seasons repeats the years. You can call it a leap year. You can call it 25/8. You can call it 24/7, because it will be 25/8 in millions of years to come. But I don't know. Can I ask y'all something? What white man you know can part a sea? Or I think he was Jewish. I don't know. But what can part a sea now? That's the only thing I haven't seen. We can walk on water with machines. We can turn water to wine with fermentation. Everything Jesus has done, we can do now. But Moses, he not only parted the seas, but he went up a hill clean, coming down with a chipped tablets of something, some spirit that they only can create in the 1950s to look like red fire. That was their graphics back then. They keep trying to remake that movie. They need to leave it alone. But this one fire that made 10 commandments. We have the command key on our computers right now. So whatever that thing was that, I mean, he was clean, right? We don't know if Moses was smoking. We don't know back, if history repeats itself, we don't know who was and what they were taking. Who told people about marijuana? I think it was the government. Who showed people how to smoke marijuana? It was the government. Tribes. So we don't know. Moses could have been on something, DMT for all we know, sitting up there parting waters, or had some type of power. Let's just go into faith, power. But logically, we haven't seen that. But we have seen, what we have seen is famine, disaster. So they had an accuracy. And when Jesus come down, it's said to be with the clouds. They made their choice by reiterating clouds. He could cure diseases. We know Jesus wasn't human. We know he rode with aliens. In ancient aliens, they said that Jesus Christ was in space. No way somebody, I mean, not unless I can be a theorist too. And what do y'all think about this idea? What if, this is theoretically speaking, I'm not saying this happened, this entity, because based on all my knowledge over the course of 41 years, this entity sits up there and turns into a spirit. We all turn into spirits, but no one but a selected few has a different. I don't knock anybody saying they see things. They can see on a different frequency. Are they deemed as crazy because now they're saying they all seen the same thing? You get a group of people together that said they seen one man resurrect. I mean, I haven't seen Water Part Ways. I have heard about Mach 500 or Mach people, spacecrafts flying into the water, Mach 5 or whatever that crap is called, crashing into the water. So whoever this Moses character was not human. These men were not human. They were chosen. They went through the same exact shit, plus worse, to see if they were deemed to lead. That goes for every leader out here right now, big tech and all. Telegram, they locked him in jail. How does millionaires get locked in jail? From Telegram, from him resisting Russia. He got beat up in California. Mark Zuckerberg is always on a chopping block. He just does it the right way. He goes with the flow of things. If this was a Democrat in office, I would be censored. He would go with the flow of things. But since Trump is in office, it's like going with the flow of things. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg is copying some stuff off of Elon Musk, like free speech. Grok is a beast. That I forgot what that's called. There's a word for that. And I want to follow that word where it's a very noble thing to sit up there and sacrifice yourself. You don't have to necessarily literally sacrifice yourself, but in Jesus' case, he sacrificed himself to keep people from hurting. But yet they still hurt. So he kind of, God is not a dumb God. When God does something, God something's for the people and for insurance. Yeah, I did this for you one time and it won't happen again. You either got to have faith or you're going to hell. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. No, I'm a That's perfect. You got a lot to talk about. I'm not trying to get emotionally invested. Who was the planner? Who was the planner? I'm looking for that person. I want to know because they are so smart. You know, you got people that create streets, you got people that have architecture. Those are very, very smart people because they have a vision. They make the vision. But anybody that sit up there have a vision of when planets can be born, when uh, black holes, white holes, and all other entities like things out in the universe can be created, you know, is a very good planner because you have to align it at the exact moment. Like it takes 26 months to align the Mars with Earth to make that trip. You know, there's people that ask for airtime and they don't have anything to talk about. But anytime somebody brings up God, I'm all for it. And that anyone who wants to brag or entertain God or speak through God, you know, I listen. That's all he wanted to talk about. Michael bless me. I can tell y'all what I did because I want y'all to know the stuff I had to do in order to connect with the angels out there. So after my husband attempted to try to kill me, I did it in his face. I sat up there and wrote a letter to Michael. I purposefully um, cut myself. That is the only time I cut myself with no intention of killing. And I prayed. Once I saw a bloody feather downstairs, which wasn't mine, and he was trying to, we had a very big house. People were climbing in through the basement and stuff. And I saw this bloody feather, and it shouldn't even have been there. I said to myself, I choose good over evil. Every time I get tested, it looks so easy to do, to be evil, but it's very hard to do. And if people have mastered that, I'm scared of you. Then I saw this one white lady. It's no freaking way she wasn't an angel. I've called some women, whether white or black, angels, but that doesn't mean I necessarily meant the whole thing. I mean, you're performing right now towards me like an angel, but that doesn't mean you're an angel. But this particular woman that was white, from the tips of her shoulders to the buttocks of her lower back, I've never seen a tattoo that accurate. And I didn't have sex. Here we go again. She showed me that tattoo. And this was at a shelter. She showed me gematria, which I already knew since the third grade. And to refresh my memory, they were all Trump supporters. One it's like it was so weird. One guy said, one guy, he was white. He was like, at Area 51, it was a lot of veterans there. I was like, yes. He was like, well, I used to work at an area where it's like Area 51, but he told me, but I don't remember which area it was, but it was a government ran place, an area of something that he claimed he worked at. And I kind of slightly believed him. Whether he's lying or not, I looked up personally different bases that possibly house aliens. And there's multiple ones. There's a underground city, nation. You can't say that that's true, not true. That's a scary thing. I'm sorry I keep cutting him off, but that's a scary thing when Satan was one of the top officials. Was God like Jesus when he knew that Satan might betray him in the future? So he devised a plan that only he knew about, that he got help from some other character. I mean, it's not like he did this himself. He had to have help. There's not just one God. Look at how these human gods are working together. There's no way God set up there one man under universe without the help of multiple people. I mean, all these advanced civilizations that we learn about in Ancient Aliens and all these advanced civilizations, but there's only one God and they keep coming to Earth for something. What the hell do we got that they want? It's rare earth minerals. What else do we have that they want? To help. Just as I would help if I was in power, a civilization that is 500 to 1,000 years behind me. We don't got shit they want if they're advanced. And one last thing, and that's why they don't bother us. Their mission is not, unless people lied, and some of the counts is probably true about being abducted, but unless they're in groups, because what I would say to them is, oh, you're going to get your family on me now? You're going to get your family and friends on me now? You're going to go and get your cousins? That's some stuff I would say. But they fly singular in our skies all the time. No harm, no foul. They done met me a couple of times. If only I could meet them again physically in the flesh again. But, you know, they are harmless. Yet you get some conspiracy theorists talking about, go ahead and kill the aliens. What they don't know scares them. They don't even know these aliens. I don't even think the aliens would laugh at them. I would laugh at them for wanting to kill someone so advanced than them. They would look at them and they would eliminate them for even thinking that way. Remember those words that just came out of my mouth. Because if somebody's trying to help, so they just ignore. Look at the case with Mr. Schreiber, Snyder. He In 95, he had an expo he did. Rob Snyder or Bob Snyder, I forgot his name. But 95, there was an expo event. And he killed an alien and they blew up his stomach and blew up his hand. And some reason he ended up committing suicide with one hand. And his wife said, no, 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 no. My husband didn't do it. She said her husband did not do it. And they all are in the background watching us. They're watching us, y'all. I don't mean that in a weird way, but they watch over us. Michael, God would never create an angel and give him more power than he has. Why is that, God? Because you give someone too much power and they don't know what they're doing with that power. Look at the 4 years we spent with people flying off the vehicles, the airplanes in, I think it was Afghanistan. That was hell. Trump is trying to create heaven amongst heaven. And he needs warriors that advocate for him to do the right thing. I never said I know for a fact that Trump isn't perfect. I know he's not perfect, but I also know that he is pure. No way does a non-pure man would want war. And some of y'all are so warped that you think what Biden did was actually God's work. And that is why I trust Donald Trump. I could care less what he's done. I could care less what people tell me he's done. If he denies it, I have trust in him. Because I, myself, neither were you guys, were there. That's like a man saying he slept with me and I did something to him. Nobody, like I cut off his toe. Let's just say a toe. And I wasn't there. It was someone else. Or, perfect example, someone got murdered in Seattle and they put my DNA on that body all the way from here in Boise because they took my mouth swab for no freaking reason, like I'm this murderer. At any moment, someone could frame me. Wrong place at the wrong time and get framed. Okay, I'm gonna cut it off there and fast forward. I know that's right. How did that happen? Oh crap. Okay. Oh my God. I messed up. There's no way I'm gonna get finished. It's not that I talked. That's not the problem. The problem is I made this into a 30-minute instead of 15 minutes. It is actually total tape time is 44 minutes, 52 seconds, and 22 partial seconds, however you say it. So this is going to be a job for tomorrow. I got the meat and potatoes of it. Now I got the potatoes with that goes along with the meat, and tomorrow I'll put the meat down. It's getting late. So I'll keep it right there. I want to stop. I'm I don't want to get off of here. So really, I wanted to show y'all Napoleon Hill's interview with the devil. I urge y'all to watch that show. I urge you to watch that video. This was in the late 1920s. Let me see when Napoleon Hill interview with the devil came out. Just imagine interview with the devil. Napoleon Hill came out when 1938. It was considered too controversial due to his critical views on fear, religion, education, and the metaphorical role of the devil. The devil censored this shit. It was first released to the public in June, like he told Napoleon Hill he would do. In the whole video in 1938, he told him that he was gonna, his friends and his critics were mad and he would censor it. The delayed publication is well documented on sources like Wikipedia, the Napoleon Hill Foundation, and its book retailers. Key lessons from Outwitting the Devil. Drifting, to avoid drifting. Fear is the devil's I want to let y'all know these are the main lessons. Avoid drifting. Have a definitiveness of purpose. Drifting is the number one cause of failure. I even drift. I drift. And the devil knows my weakness, and I hate that shit. But at least I'm acknowledging that I can be a drifter too. It's not, you all are drifters too. There's only one thing I drift by doing. Other than that, 98% of me is straight, pure. Living aimlessly without clear goals, allowing external influences to control your life. The devil claims that 98% of people are drifters and easily manipulated. Counter it with burning major purpose, a specific obsessive goal that guides all decisions and actions. Fear is the devil's primary tool. The devil uses 6 basic fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death, plus fear of failure to paralyze people from birth. Most fears are imaginary and self imposed. Overcome them by replacing negative thoughts with faith, positive affirmations, and action despite fear. Master your thoughts and habits, laws of hypnotic rhythm. Thoughts become habits through repetition. A lot of people, they like, I have to use this example. They like to smoke drugs. And and it has nothing to do with me, but listen to what I'm saying. They make negative repetition, or they sit up there and they drink, or they sit up there and they break the law. Those are negative habits. Plugging in positive habits like eating healthy. Maybe every once in a while I have a little negative food, or running or walking or speak. If you hear a negative thought come in your mind, say, where did that come from? Fuck you, and leave my fucking brain. That's what I say. I talk shit to my negative thoughts because I know when my thoughts are being pierced by something outside of this universe. Control your mind. Natural law making change hard. Once negative patterns, a hypnotic rhythm. A natural law making change hard once a negative pattern set in. Control your mind. Focus on positive, dominating thoughts to attract success. Similar in the laws of attraction. Develop discipline and independent thinking. Schools and institutions often encourages conformity in rote learning. Sort of like when two people graduate high school and get married because their families told them, oh, well, Cindy knows John and they've been together for a while, or um, this is the way it's supposed to be done. You're supposed to go to school and get an education, get that corporate job, and live happily ever after. But that never happens in nobody's life. Producing more drifters. Schools and institutions basically produce more drifters. They rather allow a child to drift, and it shows in the performance of children. They actually got children dressing up as cats, biting other children on the legs. That's where it gets weird. They're drifters. But when Trump asked for religion and into schools, it's like, no, we don't need no more religion. in schools. But people can dress up as cat and bite people on the legs because they feel that they're a cat. True freedom requires critical thinking, questioning authority, and self education. Discipline means saying no to distractions and mastering appetites, food, sex, expression. Learn from failure and adversity. Temporary defeat is not failure, it's a lesson. Persistent people like Edison view setbacks as stepping stones. The devil relies on people quitting. Outwit him by preserving and finding opportunity in every challenge. The devil wants me to quit whatever. I know I don't care how long it takes, but I know there's 7 to 8 billion people here on the earth. I don't care the race, but I prefer white. But the devil want to see me not get with what I want. It's not that I want it because I want it. It's not that I want it because I want to be powerful. I want it because it's my preference. Surround yourself with positive influence, environment, associates, and habits can shape you. Align with harmonious, purpose driven people. Use time wisely for growth. Maintain mental, spiritual, physical harmony and apply caution without fear. If that lady would have applied cautious in Seattle like I do, she would not have her eyes gouged out. She would have moved. She probably would have had some type of mark on her, but she would have been able to see. Seven principles to achieve freedom. Hill outlines this as the antidote to the devil's control. Definitive of purpose, mastery over self control, self discipline, learning from adversity, positive mental attitude, applied faith, harmony with others, caution, balanced decision making. These timeless ideals build on Think and Grow Rich, emphasizing that success is mental. Outwit inner negativity through purpose, persistence, and positive control. The book warns against procrastination, anger, jealousy, and vices as tools of control. Apply them consistently to break free from drifting and claim personal power. Highly recommended for anyone seeking mindset shifts. This is not even, this is real. The devil had to tell you guys how to beat him. But God owes us no explanation of how to beat them because they're, and that's what makes America America. God owes us no explanation of who they tell us who they are, but they don't give us the bakery secrets to what they represent and how they are. Because just like every law within the universe, there's a law. If we knew God's secrets, we're still in our baby phases. If we really knew God's secrets, all of God's secrets, I would be scared of that. So I wouldn't even want to know. I'm glad they have classified and top secret. There's some things I don't want to know. I let God take control. Like that's what's in the Bible, right? You let God be the driver, as a Tesla would drive or a Cybertruck. You know, Elon Musk said that Cybertruck is literally out of this world.